InkOn3. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's been a long time in the making. We finally have 3 new ink colors. You guys have been asking and we've been working, and here it is. 3 new colors for the Atelier Ink line. It's Inspiration Week on our Instagram pages right now. We have lots of designers creating all kinds of amazing projects to show you all this inky goodness. So if you follow along, on the 30th, we're gonna have a blog hop with prizes and all kinds of great projects. So be sure to join us there as well. So keep looking all week. We're gonna have lots of fun. We have 3 new colors. We have Sweet Petunia Pink, that was inspired by our crafty friend, my Sweet Petunia. She's amazing. And we also have Trinity Teal, our sweet friend at Trinity Stamps. Like amazing. And then this one is Shark Tooth White. It's just an amazing ink to our Atelier line, and we're going to show you all kinds of ways to use all these 3 inks. But what I love is this is about crafting, people coming together, working together, and supporting one another. So let's have fun. Let's make a card. I'm going to do some no line coloring with you, easy peasy. So let's get your ink on. So I had a little fun in the beginning of the video. I'm just so excited about this release and I couldn't wait to share it with you. And this is the card we're going to create today. I'm going to do some easy no line coloring and I'm going to take you through it step by step. We also have a new stamp set that's debuting as well called Little Birdie, and you can see it here on my desk, and that's the big flower that we're going to be using today, and I'm going to show you how to easily color that. And you can see we're going to do some no line coloring with fade out no line coloring ink. And what's really fun about this stamp set is all the amazing sentiments. So you've got sending warm winter wishes, so you can use it for the holidays. You've got sending birthday wishes, sending hugs. A little birdie told me it's your birthday. I think that one's so cute. And then we have happy birthday. You can use sister, mom, grandmother, daughter, and friend. And then there's also best wishes and a few more. So let's get started with the actual no line coloring. I've already assembled all of my stamps on my MISTI, and I'm going to ink it up with the Fade Out No Line Coloring ink. It's a very light ink, but it's not only a light ink, it's the way it was formulated. It actually will grab the color that you lay on top and become that color. So it makes the no line coloring process so easy and so much fun. And once you get the hang of it, you are not going to want to stop because it gives you these beautiful soft results that are absolutely breathtaking. When I'm no line watercoloring or Copic coloring or anything, I like to map out where I'm going to have my deepest, darkest shadows first and then go on from there. And you'll see I'll leave some spaces completely without color, and those are going to be the areas where I'm going to have these really, really beautiful light highlights. So in the beginning, you're basically just tracing the lines to get started. And you'll see I'm using a water brush pen, but I don't have water in the barrel of the pen just because I really want to control how much water I have because this is a very small image. If I had a larger image, then I might put water in the barrel. And you'll also notice that I do dab off on my ink off cloth very often, and that's just to make sure I have very, very little water on my brush. And I can dip right into the pad like you'll see here, or I can swipe the ink onto a piece of plastic or any other surface and use it that way. If you're more comfortable, you can do it that way, but I always prefer to dip right into the pad. I love this brush pen because it has a very springy tip and it's also very fine, but it keeps its shape very well, and it works great for really tiny images, and I can get in all those little nooks and crannies very easily. So now that we've mapped out our image where we're going to have the darkest points, you'll notice I dip into my clean water, and then I will start to pull the color up out to the edges of the petal, and that's going to give me a really dark shade to light shade, and it's going to start giving the image a lot of roundness and depth. I'm also very careful to leave some white space, and I know it's sometimes hard to think about leaving the white space, but if you do this the way I'm showing you, where you start with the dark and move to the light and rinse off your brush and just kind of work with the color till you have your lightest shade of that and you can pull it around, you'll keep those light spaces, and in the end you'll love it because it will really bring your image to life. Those white spaces, it's not exactly 100% white. It will be the lightest shade
of the sweet petunia pink, the way I'm pulling the water through. And when I go to the edges where the dark meets the light, I only blend just the edge of the two so that you keep that light area and you keep the dark area. Because if you put too much water into the dark area and pull it out, you will lose some of that depth. So always work from the edge outward. Do this through the rest of the flower. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Sweet Petunia Pink and how it came about. This ink is absolutely gorgeous and I'm just so thrilled we have it. And I started working on the formulation and the color about a year ago. I was with my good friend Ileana at Creativation and I was working in her booth and she said to me, Fleurette, you should make an ink that's just like the Misty. And we started talking about it and we both got so excited. And here we are today at its debut. I couldn't be more happy. And I can't wait till you see all the amazing projects that everyone creates with it. And it just shows that crafty companies can really support each other and work together. It's really an amazing thing. I'm going to go on to the leaves and I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to add my darkest color to the edges on the bottom and then I'm going to take some clean clear water and I'm going to blend the edge to blend it out. And you'll notice the fade out ink is doing most of the work for me. You can see it grabbing those really nice lines in the leaves, making it a breeze to paint. I don't have to worry about losing my details or anything like that. The fade out ink grabs the color and becomes the color we lay on top. And then when you combine that with the formulation of Atelier, it all just works seamlessly together. They were actually designed to become a no-line watercoloring system. The Atelier ink was designed with watercoloring in mind. It's very buttery smooth. It is very forgiving, so you can rework it over and over again. And the other thing is, it is semi-opaque, so you get that beautiful translucent look, but you also have the layering capabilities. Not to mention it stamps beautifully, you can emboss with it, and you can get beautiful blends, and all the colors were designed to work together and blend together really beautifully. Oh, and I forgot, it is also water reactive. So it really is an ink that does just about everything. And that's where the name Atelier comes from. Atelier in French means the artist workshop. So it really is an artist workshop in one ink. You can do so many things. You can basically do all the things. So it really is a lot of fun to work with. Well, while I was going on and on about my excitement about Atelier, you'll notice that I was shaking a little bottle while I was talking, and that is the watercolor re-inkers. So the re-inkers are not just re-inkers, they're actual watercolors. And here's how I like to use them. I like to use them to get the deepest, darkest shade of the color I'm working with. So this is the Sweet Petunia Pink in the watercolor re-inker, and you can see I can get that deepest, darkest tone, and I can use that in all the nooks and crannies and get those really nice shadows. And what that's going to give me is a lot of dimension and a lot of roundness to my image. You'll also see that I can pull that color down on, right now I had put it on a tile. You could put it on a piece of plastic or on your mat or anything like that. But if I pull some down and add a little water, I can get the lighter tones too. So if you just love to watercolor, you can actually get the watercolor re-inkers and use them to color everything. But I love to stamp, I love to blend, I love to emboss and do all the things. So it really is awesome to have the ink pads and the re-inkers and use them in combination with each other. It really was designed as a system. Mention you always then have ink to re-ink your ink pad. It's very convenient, very handy, and I really love working with them together. As you see, now that we've added those deep dark tones, you can really see how that image is coming to life. Now, if you like a lighter color, you could have skipped this step, but I always like to do this, and you'll notice a lot of artists will get in all those nicks and crannies, and it really makes your image pop. You can see with this water brush pen, I can use just the very fine tip of it and get right in there, and I can keep that really fine edge going. And you'll notice I use my ink off cloth all the time, and I love my ink off cloth. I'll use it to clean my mat, to clean my stamps. I actually have one to clean my glasses at my computer. It's not your average microfiber. It is the highest quality microfiber out there, and it really does clean your stamps well, and it's very soft and easy to clean. So to clean it, because a lot of people will ask me that, I just basically take it. I like to throw mine in the washing machine with light colors, or like colors, not light, because remember you have ink on it, or dark colors. I throw it in the wash, then I throw it in the dryer. You just always want to make sure that you're not using a fabric softener, because a fabric softener will leave a film on there. So if you're going to use fabric softener, just wash it by hand. You can, hang dry it or then throw it in the dryer. So as I was talking about that, you can see on the video here, I've been fiddling around with it and adding a little more depth here, a little more depth there, just kind of building on the colors. And you can see now how I have that really beautiful white space and the highlights, and then the edges of the petals are so bright and pretty. It just really looks nice when you do it this way, and it actually is very easy once you get the hang of it. So now I wanted to get some depth into my leaves, so I grabbed that new color, Trinity Teal. I'm so excited about this color because not only is it a beautiful teal, I can add it onto the green of the leaves when it's still wet and give it a darker shade of green. It gives it a really pretty tone, I think. So with the Atelier inks, the colors blend together beautifully. Right now you're seeing me add the Trinity Teal onto the Goddess Green while both are semi-damp. And so that's going to give me a new color. Now if I wanted to, say, put some actual teal, true to the teal color, onto the leaves, I would just dry it a little bit with my heat gun, and then I would be able to layer it on top and get an actual teal. So that's what I was saying, is that you can actually layer these colors as well. So you'll have that translucent feel and the opaqueness. And the amazing thing is, with Atelier, when you add water and when it's dry, it's going to stay that really bright, pretty color. It's going to stay true to its color. It's not going to get that chalky look or anything like that. It's going to stay really bright and pretty. The thing that's great is it is fade resistant as well. So once you put this card away or you leave it out or something like that, it's going to stay that bright, pretty color. It's not going to fade. So here I'm going to go and fiddle a little more. You'll notice I like to fiddle with it and fiddle with it. I could have been done a long time ago, but I do like to kind of finish edges and things like that. So what I'm doing here is just going around some of the edges, adding a little more darkness and just sharpening some of the spots and lightening. If I see an area where I got like a water puddle or something, I can then blend that out, because the inks are very forgiving and give you a lot of working time. So even after it's dry, I can go back later and work on it some more. So here I'm stamping the stamen of the flower in with some Twiggy Brown. And that's what's really fun about the stamp set that we're using. It's part of our Simply No Line line, where you can stamp the stamens later, so you don't even have to worry about that. So it's really fun. Ooh, now let's go on to Trinity Teal. Look at that beautiful color, and you can see how beautifully it's blending. And if you haven't checked out Trinity Stamps, you'll have to check them out, because they are a wonderful company. They have amazing stamps, and their owner, Tanisa, is really fabulous. And I'm just so happy to be able to have this Trinity Teal in our Atelier line. So you can see we ink blended, we added water, and we got that beautiful water reactive look. But now we're going to take a little bit of that awesome shark tooth white. And what's really fun is it has so many things you can do with it. And here I'm adding a beautiful highlight at the top. So say you get heavy-handed with your ink blending, you can take the shark tooth white and put that on top and blend it, and you can get back to that pretty light color. You just always want to make sure to do the shark tooth white last, so that you don't contaminate your ink pad. And then you can just rub it off on, say, your ink off cloth or whatever you have before you dip in again. Oh my gosh, these sneak peeks are so fun. And look at that white. It is amazing. So I used there the watercolor re-inker to get some really amazing splatters. I can't wait to show you more with shark tooth white, because it seems like, oh, it's just a white, but this is an amazing white, and you can do so much with it. So I assembled my card, I popped up my flower with some foam tape, and now I'm adding some of that magical liquid pixie dust. And what's really great about liquid pixie dust is I can put it in my water brush pen. Here I put a little on a tile, and I'm just painting it on. But if I paint it on, it really doesn't move my colors, and it keeps all that beautiful watercoloring I did in place. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention the card that we made today is a mini slimline, and it is a sneak peek to a new SVG kit that we have where you get envelopes and the mini slimline card, as well as the larger sizes. There's a couple other pieces in there and the envelopes. So here I'm taking the envelope and I'm just doing some ink blending right on there so that I have this beautiful envelope to go with my card. And look at how pretty that Trinity Teal blends with the Sweet Petunia Pink. When I blend the two together, you wind up getting another color of blue or purple. It's just such a beautiful combination. Now you'll notice on my envelope I have some little weird things, and that's actually because I had glue on my hands and I touched the envelope. But not to worry, because we're going to use the water reactive properties and it's just all going to blend together. So one of the things I love to do is soften the colors with a white, and I wanted to have a really nice white in the middle of my envelope. So I grabbed the shark tooth white and I'm just blending it over, and you can see when I want to dip back into the ink pad, I'll use my ink off cloth to clean off my brush in between so I don't contaminate it. So now I'm going to spritz it a little bit and then dab off that water, and look at that. Now those little glue spots have disappeared. But I did notice I want to get a little more white in the middle, so I grab a little more shark tooth white, and you're going to see how amazingly white this shark tooth is here. This is a great example of it. You can see I just easily blended it on, and look at how bright and white and pretty that is. And then I just blended the edges and I got this gorgeous envelope to go with my card. I'm just so excited about these 3 new colors. It's been a year in the making for these 3 new colors, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for more fun, crafty goodness. Also, head on over to the Instagram page, and I'll have the links below, because on Instagram we're going to have all kinds of fun. And at the very end, when the inks are released on the 30th, there will be prizes. So see you soon. Bye-bye.